Akaza, Akaza. This guy blew me away. Quite literally. I mean, he's got mudas, but all in all I'm saying is that Akaza's kit looks phenomenal. I am a huge fan of what Akaza is bringing to the table for both the meta shift that I predict with the demons and then the actual character himself and the potential he has with the moves. But maybe you don't understand what I'm talking about. Let me show you what I mean. Go baby, what's good guys? Iyokuu here, and just like I did with Rui, I'm also doing the same thing with Akaza and pretty much giving a more in-depth analysis on what I think about the character compared to the previous video where it was definitely rushed and, you know, just kind of like a first impressions thing. So after watching the videos for Akaza and Rui, I want to say over 10 times, there are a lot of things that I noticed about both characters that I didn't catch on my first impressions video, but in Akaza's case specifically, because I was already I was way less interested in Akaza than I was Rui, but because Rui didn't have the web effect and I wasn't as interested in Rui anymore, I started to look at Akaza. And the things that Akaza has are just so interesting to me because there are a lot of things that we can't really see them in the game itself because, you know, like whoever's playing as Akaza isn't putting themselves in certain situations or they're not making the opponent do certain stuff, whatever the case may be, but we notice these implications. For instance, with Compass Needle, we went from thinking that Compass Needle was his DP to a full freeze frame counter to now it's literally a full screen freeze frame counter. Like, you do anything that's not block whenever he does Compass Needle and you're getting clapped. So there's a lot that goes into that because now you have the whole, you know, conversation going on in the Discord, the competitive one, mind you, but you have this conversation going on. Dang, Akaza's gonna be broken. If you can't do anything when he does Compass Needle, he's broken. And then now I'm like, I'm gonna play devil's advocate real quick, but I don't think that makes him broken. Now, you know me, you guys know me. All right, for those that stick around on the channel and you watch all my videos, even if you're new and you've only watched a couple, you know I'm gonna straight up say nothing in this game is broken except hyper armor and surge mode, but that's another story. No character in this game is busted to the point where they cannot be dealt with, and I do not believe Akaza or Rui will add to that list. Like, they're not all of a sudden gonna be busted and nobody can deal with them. When it comes to Akaza, again, such interesting moves in his kit, such interesting special moves, I'm more concerned about the properties of these moves, right? With Flash Punch, which I think is his assist move where he rushes at you, the really quick punch, goes about mid-range, really good normal or really good special. It's got what looks like some armor behind it, right? It flashes a little bit just like Rengoku does with his DP. So I'm assuming that this is an armored move similar to Inosuke's where it stays on the ground and it just rushes forward and it protects him from whatever he's like, getting hit by. It's his version of his DP. And that'll be really good for him because, again, no assist. We know that from the demons. Vice versa, you got Compass Needle, which originally looked like it had a flash, and it kind of does, but that might just be the flash from freezing the frame of the screen or the game. So we don't know. Once the character comes out later on tonight, I'll be able to test that fully, and then I might stream. I don't know. But by the time you're watching this, you would have known if I streamed or not. But whatever. Anyway, point being is that Akaza being here, he's got a lot of interesting things about those special moves. His Auras, even though you see a million punches, they only hit 5, and that's really good for scaling, damage scaling in particular. So while you might think like, oh, this move adds a bunch of damage scaling because of the hits, when you look at the number of the hits, it's only 5. So you can still get a dick ton of damage from using mudas in mid combo, starting a combo, or ending a combo because it's only adding 5 hits. Meanwhile, he's also got this it's like this pierced elbow looking kind of move where he just boom, and it's really quick. I can't tell if it's a special move or not. I can't tell if it's a part of his normal attack string, but I know it hits. The great part about that is a lot of us are always whiffing these moves. I'll include myself in that. A lot of us are always whiffing normals in neutral, which we shouldn't be doing. But in Akaza's case and in Rui's, I think it'll be really interesting to see these things where we're whiffing a normal or two to start a combo or catch a whiff punish with one of these better buttons, like the elbow, right? Maybe if it is a part of his normal kit, then I'll whiff normal attack 1, 2 and skip straight to 3 and then hit you with the elbow because it does a little bit more damage. These are just things that I'm thinking about that will lead us towards different combo routes, how to get more damage, a lot of stuff like that, because all these things can be canceled out of at some point in time. Now, as far as his character type goes, again, just like I mentioned in the previous video, I think Akaza is going to be a very much stronger version of Nezuko. Solo wise, right? Nezuko excels at what she does, and for the team, because she's on a team, her assists are godlike. She's great at whiff punishing because her tilt attack, not the heavy attack. When I say tilt attack, I mean the one where you move it forward and they lunge forward, right? Not your heavy attack. When I say tilt, I don't mean heavy. If I say heavy, I mean heavy. So your tilt attack, because of the whiff punish range on that, Nezuko is a monster at whiff punishing things just from her normal attacks alone. She's got flying kick, which catches, anything mid-screen. Very similar to, now we're in Akaza. Akaza has flash punch. So flash punch is going to be his version of Nezuko's flying kick. It's about mid-range, it's quick as shit, and it packs a punch if it hits you, right? You've also got his dive kick from the air, which is very similar to hers. I think Akaza, from what I'm seeing, has a lot more range on the impact, not the move itself. Like, he's not diving further than her. What I mean by the range is that when he lands on the ground, it has a wider radius. Like, it's more of an explosion compared to Nezuko's, where it's kind of like just her foot, maybe a little bit more than her foot. But with Akaza, that hitbox looks to be the giant explosion that touches the ground. Anything that gets hit by that one single radius gets bopped and thrown in the air. And I think that's amazing. Adding both of those to Compass Needle, now you've got this move that's, again, a full screen freeze frame, like a freeze counter. And these are all speculations. These just look like what we're seeing based off of us playing fighting games. And we noticed some things from other previous games, and these look like those things. But ultimately speaking, Akaza looks really good. Oh, and of course he's got Fireball, right? So if I don't want to deal with something, or if I want to push the opponent back, I can use Fireball to push them roughly full screen away from me. I can have enough time to reset to neutral, recompose myself, or even charge up my meter, right? If I want to do that. So there are a lot of things that both these demons are able to do that they kind of share similarities between one another, mainly being just, positioning wise. But as a whole, Akaza looks so fun to play. Very rush down, but can play at a mid-range, can whiff punish you from a further range. He looks great. I'm really interested in touching Akaza like as soon as the game drops that update for these demons. But to answer that ultimate question, right? Will these characters be broken? No, absolutely not. I think I mentioned that previously and earlier in the video that I don't think anything's gonna be broken. Akaza is definitely not gonna be broken. Rui's not gonna be broken, but it will shift the meta. Of course, we're gonna have everyone that doesn't take the time to learn the game complaining about the characters being broken because they don't know how to play the characters. And I'm not even gonna lie to you, that's not okay. Normally I say something like that's fine, blah, blah, blah. It's okay if you can't blank. No, it's getting to a point where it's getting too ridiculous. You guys are calling everything broken, something busted, and it's nowhere near the sort. You just don't know how to deal with it because maybe you're not, prone to fighting games, and you don't understand how to practice against something or learn how to defend against something, whatever the case may be. But the biggest issue is that you guys live in this world or live in this age, this era, where you call something broken in hopes that it gets nerfed, and then you just don't have to deal with it. Like your goal is to be like, oh, Akaza's broken. Then they nerf him to the ground, and then no one uses Akaza. And then now you're like, oh yeah, well, ever since he got nerfed, he's fair now. People don't want to play him because he's not OP anymore. And it's like, no, bro, you ruined the character. That's all it is. But I'm gonna let you guys go for the day. Hopefully Akaza's out by now, by these videos come out. He should be, but whatever. Point being is that we should be, sitting in a pretty ballpark is all I'm saying, right? So Akaza will be here, Rui will be here, and I won't be streaming this weekend. My girl will be over, so I pretty much won't be here. But the tournament for Demon Slayer, the Hinokami competitive tournament, is happening. The first Hashira Showdown is happening this Saturday at 2 p.m. CST. If you're in the competitive Discord, you can see all the updates for that. If you're not, I don't know where it'll be streamed yet. It'll either be streamed here or on a brand new channel that we created specifically for streaming the tournament. That way it's easier for all of us to manage. Regardless, have fun, enjoy the demons, don't cry about it being broken, learn the game, learn how to practice against demons, defend them, ask your homie to play you until you learn what to do against it. Like, your goal should never be to always win a match. Like, learning is more important than winning a match. If this is a tournament, totally different. Do whatever you got to do to win the game. But anyway, I can't say my usual outro because it's inappropriate for YouTube. Smell you later.